The media and the political establishment is so desperate to prevent Donald Trump winning the presidency, they're now helping to foment an environment which could lead to an assassination attempt against the Republican frontrunner. Trump has been under Secret Service protection since last year. He wears a bulletproof vest at all public events. And that's because every single day on social media, hundreds if not thousands of people threaten directly or call for the assassination of Donald Trump. Go and compare the amount of death threats on Twitter being made against Trump to those made against Hillary or Bernie Sanders. It's literally 100 to 1. You've got political pundits and leftists joking every week about Trump being assassinated. Trump supporters are also being harassed and threatened with violence simply for expressing their political opinion. There's no louder progenitor of hateful, vitriolic, violent rhetoric than the anti-Trump crowd. So why is Trump himself being blamed for violent rhetoric? Is Fox News reporting on the deluge of death threats being made against Donald Trump? No. They're too busy lying about a Trump campaign staffer grabbing a woman by the arm and claiming it was some kind of vicious assault. I mean, look at this video, and then look at how the poor victim, Michelle Fields, reacted on Fox News.
This has to be, aside from my father's death, the worst experience I've gone through.
Someone had grabbed me tightly by the arm and yanked me down. I almost fell to the ground.
She acts like the Trump staffer was manhandling her like King Kong or something. Almost threw her to the ground. The worst thing in her life besides her father dying. Give me a break. But the media supports her lies because they can use this as part of the coordinated demonization campaign to claim that Trump is encouraging violence. Is CNN reporting on the deluge of death threats being made against Donald Trump? No. They're too busy giving a platform to the extremist who tried to attack Trump in Ohio, making him out to be a reasonable guy. This is an individual who said he was prepared to become a martyr while planning this attack. Imagine if a crazed right-wing extremist who called himself a martyr had tried to get up on stage and accost Hillary Clinton. Would CNN be trying to legitimize and humanize that guy? Would they call him a protester? Oh, and Twitter, which bans conservatives for having the wrong politics, still gives this guy a platform, sending the message to thousands of other potentially violent lunatics. You too can become a media star by physically attacking Donald Trump. Then look at what happened in Chicago. Imagine if Donald Trump supporters had crashed a Bernie Sanders rally, firing guns, blocking ambulances, assaulting people, waving Nazi flags. Would the media describe them as peaceful protesters? No, yet that's all we've heard since Chicago. This is the classic leftist social justice warrior tactic. Stage violence and then claim you're the victim. The Washington Post even lies and claims Trump cooked up a giant conspiracy to sabotage his own event in Chicago. Like he controls the George Soros-funded radicals who caused the mayhem. This is the narrative we see being pushed. Violence is justified because you don't have to take responsibility for it. Just blame Donald Trump. Every major politician and media figurehead on both the left and right unified simultaneously to promote this mantra that Trump's rhetoric is responsible for the violence, when he's the target of the violence. And yes, Trump has made some stupid comments where he jokes about wanting to punch agitators in the face. But the climate of violence and intimidation now sweeping America has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has everything to do with the president who said that what happened in Ferguson was an understandable form of protest. Understandable? Michael Brown, a thug who charged out and tried to grab a cop's gun, it's legitimate to protest that by burning and looting an entire city. I also blame the media, the likes of Time magazine, for asserting that violent rioting is a legitimate form of protest, a message that was acted upon by the thugs who ransacked Baltimore. I blame the media for parroting the hands up, don't shoot hoax that fueled the Ferguson unrest. I blame Hillary Clinton, the New York Times, and the political class for anointing Black Lives Matter as a respectable political movement. This is a racist hate group that has called for killing cops. Its supporters have actually killed cops and planned to bomb police stations. The ideological guru of Black Lives Matter is a convicted cop killer who is on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. These are the people who are to blame for inciting violence, not Donald Trump. As Breitbart's Raheem Kassan points out, the media's role in sending out a green light to every lunatic that it's legitimate to try and attack Trump is part of a dirty tricks campaign. Quote, as a human being and as a former politico, I dread what I've seen, writes Kassan. Something very bad could be about to happen. By forcing security to be more oppressive at his rallies, by forcing Trump to stand further away from his audience, this is part of a move to intimidate and derail Trump and his supporters. So mark my words, Saturday's incident in Ohio won't be the last time some unhinged left-wing lunatic tries to attack Donald Trump. And when it happens again, and even God forbid if it's an attempt on Trump's life, the media and the political class will blame Trump and his supporters. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, the blood will be on the media's hands. They're the ones who are inciting violence by encouraging mentally unstable people to attack Trump. They created this environment which has venerated violence and intimidation by characterizing it as a legitimate form of protest. And they're who you should blame if anyone tries to assassinate Donald Trump.